Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Empowerment with Elizabeth. Today I am here with my sweet new friend Hailey, and she is going to talk to us a little bit about her pageant journey. So, Hailey, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, thank you so much, Elizabeth, for having me on. I'm really honored when you reached out to me. But for those of you who don't know me, I'm Hailey White. I was Miss Mississippi USA 2022. I competed at Miss USA in the fall of that year in Reno, Nevada. I'm born and raised in South Mississippi in a tiny, tiny little town called Picayune. I attended the University of Southern Mississippi and got my degree in marketing. And even when I was a title holder, I was a full-time wedding and event planner. I still am. I just recently obtained my realtor's license. And then on top of all of that, I still help my dad train horses on our family ranch and still do a little bit of modeling and acting. So kind of bouncing back and forth, but it's just all the things that I love. And I just think you shouldn't have to sacrifice what you love. So just do it all.
I love it. I love it. She does it all. Okay, so talk to us a little bit about how you got started in pageantry.
Growing up, I was a complete tomboy. If you would have told me I would have done a pageant, I would have laughed in your face. I grew up on, like I said, the ranch, just running around. I was literally a boy. And one day, my older sister got a pamphlet in the mail that said, you should follow your dreams. And it was a promotion for the Miss USA pageant. And we're like, what the heck? And I was like, throw that in the garbage. Like seems so silly. And sure enough, she just entered. And my family, we were like, what? That's crazy. And she literally like practically made her own dress, and we all went up to the pageant to watch her. And just seeing who she was from before she entered that pageant to once she had completed the pageant, and she made the top 15 or top 10 that year, not knowing anything, and her self-growth was amazing. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to rethink this whole pageant thing. I want to do that. So the next year we both entered together. She was in Miss and I was in Teen. And that's kind of the rest is history. From there, I was like a complete girly girl. Like I loved all things pageants. Competing with my sister was the best years of my life. And then the rest is kind of history from there.
I love it. I love it. And you mentioned, you competed at Miss USA and you obviously competed at Miss Mississippi USA. It sounds like multiple times. So I'm sure you have a favorite phase, and I want to know what it is and why that phase is your favorite.
Hands down, evening gown. I love fashion. I think looking at the dresses is my favorite part. I actually got into modeling right before I did pageants. And so I learned my walk just walking the runways. So it's like a big fashion show to me. Obviously, all are important. Interview is most people's favorite. I do love interview, but for me, the crowd pleaser is just watching evening gown.
We are opposites in that way. I am very much an active work girl. I do Miss America system. So
Yes.
my coach always gets mad at me because she's like, you have to slow down an evening gown. And I'm like, but walking fast is just so much more fun.
Right?
So we are
Activewear is fun. Yes. I did activewear when I was a teen, before swimsuit, and it was a lot of fun. I wish Miss sometimes had activewear.
yes, definitely, definitely. And I also, this one's kind of a hard question, but I want to know why you think the judges selected you to represent the state of Mississippi.
That's a good question. I think out of all the years that I've competed, I truly that last year that I competed, when I won, I wanted it all the time and I was preparing and I was kind of going through the motions. But that last year before I competed, I really did like a deep dive of myself, self growth. I got outside of my comfort zone. I would talk to every stranger on the street. I really found my skill set and what I was good at with marketing and my job and my career. And I used that to almost market myself as Miss Mississippi. And I knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted to represent the state. Although going to Miss USA obviously is the goal, for me, it was much more than that. Born and raised in Mississippi, I care about my state. I just wanted to be able to give back and put my little town of Picayune on the map. And I think walking into that interview, I remember that when we check in, interviews our first phase of competition. And walking into that interview, I just felt like there was no question that I couldn't answer or couldn't handle. And I knew what I wanted the judges to know about me. And I feel like when you understand that, you can almost, the judges, you don't know what they're going to ask you, but like I said, you're prepared for anything and you can almost, get out what you want them to know about you in that allotted time. And when I left that interview, I was like, that it just is a different feeling. And it's not trying to be cocky or arrogant. You just feel like this is me, take it or leave it. And I just felt at peace that whole weekend.
I love that. I love that. And I'm always interested to hear, with state title holders, what their experience was like at nationals. So first, I want to hear how you prepped for Miss USA. Like, what did you focus on?
But mostly focusing on interview was a big one for me. So Greenwood Productions owns Mississippi, Tennessee, and Georgia pageants. So a lot of our coaches are in Nashville. So I spent a lot of time traveling to Nashville actually to meet with the coaches, prepping for that. But like I said, it's no different than prepping for the state. It's just furthering, deep diving, knowing yourself, knowing who you are, what you stand for, focusing on broader issues, going into a national level. But it was such an amazing experience. And so much more self-growth happened after I won. I thought I knew myself then. And then after Miss USA, you're like, wow, did that even happen? Like,
I love it. I love it. And I also want to know, the most surprising thing or the most shocking thing to you about the week of Miss USA. You're there for a long time, and I feel like you definitely have, I know I at least have a preconceived notion of what I think that, Miss America or Miss USA week would look like, but obviously I've never been. So going into it, what shocked you the most?
that is a good question. Because you see it on TV, you see like the glitz and the glam and everyone just gets it, but seeing the behind the scenes of what actually goes into it is insane. Never did I think I would have to be in Reno, Nevada for like 14 days almost. You're like, oh, it's just a one night event. You just show up. That was like a shock for me. But really just because once they laid out the itinerary for us, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to get up at 4 a.m. for hair and makeup and stay up till midnight, 1 a.m. and just keep going. You're like, is your body going to be able to do that? But when you get there, you go into this mode of like, you're so focused, you're so excited, you're running off of adrenaline. And it seems silly, but that was like the craziest part for me. It was like when I got home, I was like, oh my God, like I did that. I survived that week. Like, cause it is crazy. You're going, you have events, you always have to have your hair and makeup done, your clothes. It's just a hectic week. Like you just don't even know what to expect. But it's a whirlwind for sure.
I bet. I have no doubt. And on the flip side, I want to know your favorite part of Miss USA week.
My favorite part was the girls that I got to spend it with, without a doubt. I know it's a very common answer, but it's so true. I've already gone to 3 of their weddings and have a whole calendar full of weddings for the fall of just my Miss USA friends. And I would not trade that for the world, of all of the things, because pageant girls, you have close friends in your day-to-day life, but there's no one else like you, like a fellow pageant girl, because you just get it. And I'm sure you have experienced that. You just know, like you're very, goal-driven women. You're so like-minded. It's crazy. But you live across the country from them. So it's like you have to make time to see each other. But that was by far one of my favorite parts.
I love that. I love that. And our final question, if you could give one piece of advice to a girl, about to compete at Miss USA this summer, what would it be?
I think it's just keep pushing yourself, keep working hard, try to be better. It's again cliche, but be better than the you were yesterday. I think the most growth happens outside of your comfort zone. So just keep taking those risks, keep pushing the envelope. Don't ever be complacent in life. And I think you can just move mountains.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Hailey, for coming on and chatting with us about your journey and your experience in pageants and, all your insight.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here today, and I wish you all the best too.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I will see the rest of you guys on our next episode. Bye, y'all.